Thanks for joining us for KGW News at 5. We begin with breaking news. One person was shot and killed at Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital in Northwest Portland. The shooter got away, but in the last 30 minutes, we've learned the suspect was killed by police at a bank in Gresham. We've got team coverage for you this weekend as this situation unfolds. Now, this all started just before noon today in an area of town that gets very busy on the weekends. Let's start with Thomas Schultz, who's live in Northwest Portland to explain what happened at the hospital. Thomas.
Yeah, Blair, around 11 a.m. this morning, there was a shooting at the hospital and a security guard was killed in that shooting. His name was Bobby Smallwood. It happened around the 5th floor where the birthing center at Good Samaritan Hospital is. The suspect then escaped the building while police responded. For a while, police thought that he was still in the building, or that they were still in the building, so they were actually securing that hospital. The suspect drove away, eventually to Gresham, where there was a traffic stop, and police were able to confront the suspect at 181st and Everett. That's where a confrontation occurred. That suspect was then shot and killed by police. Yellow tape lines surround the roads around the Good Samaritan Hospital in Northwest Portland after a shooting at 10:59 Saturday morning. Officers responded soon after.
Officers were told that there was somebody that may have a gun in the hospital.
Portland Police Sergeant Kevin Allen says all available police throughout the city responded to the hospital. He believes the suspect was still inside when officers arrived, but the suspect slipped out.
The hospital is safe at this point in time. They have been able to clear the premises.
Soon after, police evacuated a Fred Meyer grocery store about a half-mile away on Burnside. The suspect wasn't found there either.
This is still an active incident, and we're still actively trying to locate the suspect.
Neighbors of the hospital are surprised a shooting happened so close to their homes.
There's of course a lot been happening in Portland, and for it to kind of get closer and closer to where you live is definitely not a good feeling.
Jasper Coonan and Erica Dolby were taking their dog on a walk when they heard sirens. Coonan says he's noticed a rise in crime throughout the city, but still, the two didn't expect shootings in their neighborhood.
I feel like you hear about shootings happening on the east side, but not here on 23rd or 21st even.
Now, that security guard, Bobby Smallwood, underwent care at the hospital before he later died. Police say Smallwood was the only victim that was shot. The motive is under investigation. It has not yet been determined. Police have also not yet released a name of the suspect, but they say they do know who the person is. The hospital is not accepting new patients today, as they're still they're still trying to figure out how to recover from this. The active crime scene is now complete. The investigation is done on the police's end. It's now up to the hospital for when they want to reopen. Hospital officials are also asking that visitors, people coming into the hospital, as well as staff, stay away from the hospital today until tomorrow. All roads in Northwest Portland are now back open. Blair.
All right, Thomas, thank you. And as Thomas mentioned, police are now on scene near the U.S. Bank on Northwest 181st Avenue in Gresham, where they tell us an officer has killed the suspect. That's where Ashley Grams is live tonight. And Ashley, what more can you tell us?
The suspect in the Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital shooting was killed here by police. He was in his car outside of this U.S. Bank before he was shot. Portland police say that no officers were injured. Detectives from the county, Gresham, and Portland police are on scene. Incident command teams and police tape the shopping center here, but neighbors we talked with say they unfortunately are not surprised. Some told us they heard at least a couple gunshots this afternoon as police attempted to arrest the suspect. Now you can see this is a very active scene here. They do still have crime scene tape up here, and I should mention that Northeast 181st at Gleason is still closed in both directions, so you'll have to find another route at least for the next few hours. Blair.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Well, people in Klickitat County, Washington are under evacuation orders tonight because of a wildfire burning there. The Newell Road fire has burned nearly 6,000 acres so far. It's burning near the town of Bickleton, which is northwest of Goldendale. It started burning yesterday afternoon. There are homes, farms, and a landfill in that area. And both level 1 evacuations, get ready, and level 3, go now, are in place. The Red Cross has a shelter open right now at Goldendale Middle School for people who need to to evacuate. And several fires continue to burn in southern Oregon tonight. The Flat Fire burning east of Gold Beach grew by more than 4 miles in 24 hours yesterday. It burned more than 18,000 acres. That's almost 29 square miles since it started burning last weekend. Officials say it was human caused. 13 injuries have been reported. Fortunately, though, none of them are serious. But the fires are affecting air quality in southern Oregon. Well, let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, so far this summer, we've been seeing sunny and hot stretches of weather. Are we going to see any changes heading into the next couple of days?
We will, for sure. And the one thing we haven't seen so far this summer is measurable amount of rain. Now, Blair, we've seen a couple days with trace amounts, but not really enough to help crews out. And even what we see heading into Monday and Tuesday is not going to be a lot to help out those crews who are really spread out across the Pacific Northwest. We will be seeing some relief heading into the next couple of days. Again, we're looking at highs close to 90 this afternoon. It's going to be just as warm heading into tomorrow. But looking at the watches and warnings, the red color is that red flag warning that's in effect through parts of the Columbia River Gorge and the east side of the state. Sunny, hot, and windy. Again, low relative humidity. That gray color you see throughout Bend and Redmond is an air quality alert that's going to be in effect until late Monday night. We also have heat advisories through the southeast pocket of the state. As we look at the smoke forecast, it's not going to be impacting us here basically along the west side of the state. It's going to be very thick throughout parts of southern Oregon. Of course, that's the Flat Fire that's burning near the Gold Beach area and Medford. We put this in motion. The central and eastern side of the state will be dealing with that thick smoke over the next couple of days. And here in our area, we're going to be seeing warm conditions for tomorrow and heading into Monday and Tuesday. Believe it or not, it's going to be cool, cloudy with a little bit of some spotty rain, which is going to be kind of a welcome sight for a lot of people out there, especially crews working on those wildfires. I'll talk more about that, just how long the cool and wet conditions last coming up. All
right, Joe, looking forward to it. Well, a member of the Proud Boys will spend the next few years in prison. Yesterday, a judge sentenced Saytala Tuese, who goes by Tiny, for his role in a 2021 riot in Portland. During a rally, he stood on a truck bed, made transphobic remarks, and called the Proud Boys charged in the January 6th insurrection political prisoners. Later in the day, violence erupted between the Proud Boys and Antifa. Tiny was seen firing paintballs at protesters. He was also hit with paintballs. At his sentencing, he offered this apology.
Those who were impacted or put in harm's way due to my reckless and careless action that day, I apologize. And I know even saying that won't change the fact of what has already happened. But the best I can do is take advantage and make use of the resources available to me to better myself as a person.
A judge sentenced him to nearly 8 years, but he could get out early for good behavior.